At the FIBA World Cup qualifiers in Puerto Rico, Caitlin Clark just broke 14 world records for Team USA in just 7 days. It's not even the most strange part of the story, because Angel Reese was having a public meltdown online while Clark was changing history without a second thought. You are going to cry when you hear what Reese said she deserved for how badly she did. The receipts, records, statistics, and the funny response are all here. Do you think Angel Reese should be on Team USA? Write your answer in the box below. A lot of players spend their whole international career trying to break one record. Clark scored more than 14 points in 1 week, and most of them came from the bench. This was the event in Puerto Rico to qualify for the FIBA World Cup. There are 5 games in 7 days. Team USA is making progress in the race. Caitlin Clark, who is 24 years old, is playing for the U.S. senior national team for the first time. She made her start in the senior program, not with a young team or at a college show. Plus, she hadn't played hoops against other people in 239 days before this game. That's important background information because what happened next didn't make as much sense. The head coach, Kara Lawson, put Chelsea Gray at point guard in the first game by herself against Sagal. Gray had trouble almost right away. The attack was stopped in the first 35 seconds when Segal sacked the player with the ball. When Clark comes off the bench, he doesn't get scared by the press defense that was giving Gray trouble. Instead, Clark turns it into a weapon. She knew about the blitz, sped up, and found teammates before the defense could respond. In just 19 minutes on the court, he scored 17 points, passed the ball 12 times, and didn't turn the ball over. She hit 4 or 5 three-point shots in all 5 of her free throws. The U.S. team won 110-46. Clark said that she wasn't scared or careful after the game. She was just excited. After a break of 239 days, let's talk about what those 12 assists meant in the past. In that one game, the player making their start with the senior national team had the most assists ever. For all players, not just Team USA, she also got a double-double faster than anyone else in Team USA's history. She is the only player in the history of the senior national team from any country or gender to score 10 points and 10 rebounds in their first game. In 19 minutes, he did all of that from the bench. The bigger picture of the game is even better. Clark finished with 32 assists, more than any other Team USA player in any of the 5 games she played. Her average was 11, plus 6 points for each game. Her plus-minus was 109, and she had 4 assists per game on average. No player from Team USA or any other country beat that score. It was the best score of the whole game. Again, she did this in 19-minute chunks instead of being the star player for 35 minutes with the ball in her hands. She knew how to read defenses, rush the transition, and get Paige Buchers and Aine Howards into a groove before the other team could get ready. After that, Phoenix Mercury head coach Nate Tibbetts took over. He put Clark in the starting lineup and built the offense around a pace and space system with a lot of guards. The next game for Team USA was against New Zealand, which finished 101-46. It was a 55-point rout. Clark played 23 minutes, which was the most of anyone on the team that game even though he was sick. With 18 points, 18 assists, 18 boards, and 18 steals, she was the most efficient player on the team. After that, Tibbetts said on the record that starting Clark later was a mistake. A teacher says in public that the old way of doing things was wrong. It doesn't happen often. 14 world records were broken by the end of the week. These records included the tournament MVP, the youngest MVP in the history of this qualifying event, and the first MVP ever, given to a player who spent most of the tournament coming off the bench. Following getting the award, Clark went to the next game and continued to play. Clark has been named Sportico's most important female athlete for 2025. The FIBA MVP award is a big deal. You can see that this isn't even a dispute when you look at her present company board. First, let's talk about Nike. Clark has the biggest deal with Nike of any WNBA player in the league's history. It was the most expensive rookie deal, but not the most expensive for a beginner. End of sentence. And the rules are different from those for a normal athlete contract. This deal gives him his own line of shoes and a cut of the profits, which is something Nike usually only gives to LeBron James or Michael Jordan. Clark, who is 24 years old, now works for that company full-time. Wilson is the next one. Clark has her own line of sportswear with the company. She is the first player since Michael Jordan to get these kinds of deals from the company. Take a moment to think about that. Wilson made a signature line for Michael Jordan the last time, and now it's for Caitlin Clark. Next is State Farm. Clark was the first female athlete to be an important endorser for State Farm. Usually, NFL and NBA players are the ones who carry the brand's name. They didn't add her to an effort that was already going on. She became the thing's face. In the history of the brand, she is the first female athlete to hold this role. Then there was the Gatorade deal, which was sold as a record-breaking performance by a female athlete. These are now the brands of Nike, Wilson, State Farm, and Gatorade. That list of backers is no longer for a basketball player. That's how the Fortune 500 do things. Add Prada to that list. Clark is 24 years old and is working with one of the most famous names in the world to break into high fashion. That level isn't often reached by athletes of any gender so early in their lives, and those who do tend to stay there for a long time. Now let's talk about the real numbers. It is believed that Clark made $8 in her first season. $1 million from endorsements. That year, she made $70,000 a year as a WNBA player. She made 115 times as much money off the game as she did on it. As an older player in the WNBA, Clark did not make as much as she did in her first year of Nike contracts. She was named one of the most important women in sports by Forbes. At 24, she was 24 years old. She was 24 years old when she started following sports in general, in all leagues and disciplines. Sport Eco looked at more than just social media followers and Google searches to find the most important female athletes. They thought about how it would change culture, business, and the chance of actually changing markets. All of those are true about Clark. The WNBA had a high number of fans watch her rookie season. A lot of people watched her games on TV because she got so many people to watch. Networks that had never put a lot of money into women's basketball started to write bigger checks. She didn't just join the WNBA, she changed the way the league did business in every way. Help came from sponsors. Deals for broadcasting got better. All of the arenas are full. That was all in the first year before she had even finished the second season. Business and basketball are not two separate stories. The story is the same. The court is under her control. The economic value comes next and it grows as she stays in charge. Both sides of the equation are still going up as we head into the 2026 season with the Fever. There is no cap in sight. Clark did something that no one else had ever done in her first 2 WNBA seasons. She did it before Puerto Rico, before she was named FIBA MVP, and before Sportico called her the most important female athlete of all time. Angel Reese was doing something very different at the same time. Clark had the best first season in WNBA history as a rookie. 62 records in a year. Records for points scored, assists given, three-point shots made, and watchers are all directly linked to games she played in. 62. Before you start counting what fell, that number didn't seem real. Let's talk about what 62 records really means. It's not a busy week with a few big games. That's a whole season of doing things against every team in the league week after week that the league had. Never seen a first-year player do in a number of categories. She not only had a great first year, she changed the way a starting year could be. Angel Reese was making her own news stories while Clark did all of this. In her first season, she had the most rebounds in the league. And while it might sound amazing at first, think about where a lot of those rebounds came from. This was tracked by experts all season. A lot of Reese's total rebounding came from offensive blocks she made when she missed shots. It was a comeback because she missed and then grabbed her own miss. In a way, she was getting mathematical credit for fixing her own mistakes. This has been pointed out by analysts all over the league all season, and the numbers back it up. So Clark is on one side, and 62 records have changed how the Fever run their attack, which has led to the most fans and the most viewers in years. You have Reese, on the other hand, who calls her own misses production. That's not something that anyone on Reese's side wants to say. The gap did not close in the second year either. Clark keeps adding to the record number. She scored more efficiently and had more assists, which showed that she was playing at a level that the league had never seen from a guard, maybe ever. Around her, the Fever were making something real, and you could see it come together. And the players who play with Clark are pretty good. One of the best inside players in the league is Aaliyah Boston. Kelsey Mitchell is a jerk. Lexi Hall is good at doing the dirty work. Every night, Sophie Cunningham gives us guts in shooting. When Clark leads that kind of team by finding the right player at the right time, speeding things up and hitting shots before defenses can even think about switching. The 2026 FIBA projection gets really exciting. Just because the FIBA game showed this to be true. Clark went to a new place to practice with coworkers she didn't usually work with, in a system that wasn't built around her skills. She broke 14 more records in just a few days. There's no chance in that. What she did in her first year in the WNBA, but sped up over the course of 1 week. Same end, different people, different place. It was true that there were 62 wins in the first year. They were an alert. As time went on, Clark's and Reese's job paths became more different. Not just on the court, but also in far more public and expensive settings. As of right now, Nike is stepping up its marketing for Clark's shoe business. The Reebok shoes that Angel Reese wears are currently on sale racks and are less expensive. There's no chance in that. There was a lot of talk when Reese signed with Reebok. There was a lot of energy around the launch because it was seen as a big deal for a rising WNBA star. Something didn't happen after the shoe dropped. The shoes didn't sell for months after being on the market. They weren't really getting people excited. They were showing up on shelves and in sale bins where they were marked down. That doesn't look good for a signature shoe. Take a look at Clark's next Nike release. People in the business world think that her famous sneakers will sell out in minutes, not days. Shorts. That's not hype. As soon as her Kobe Player Edition sneakers came out, they were sold again for twice as much as they were originally priced. People really want it, and you can see it in the market even before her signature line comes out. That is the big difference between these two players right now in terms of money. Neither is Reebok, even though sales are going down. It looks like they stopped all marketing for the Reese's shoe business. Not cut back. Pulled back all the way. When a brand doesn't say anything about a famous player this early in a partnership, it shows how they plan to get their money back. They are not getting the numbers they need and are not throwing more money at the problem. So what's going on here? Because big sponsors care about more than just how many fans you have. They have whole brand safety teams whose only job is to look at how people feel, watch how people act, and report anything that could connect their brand with conflict. Those teams are hired to find and report things like Reese's public behavior patterns, her criticism of Clark, her posts showing envy, and her public worries about fame and attention. This is not a new way for Reese's to act. This goes all the way back to college. Each time Clark reaches a new goal, Reese finds a way to steal the show for herself. Not to praise Clark, but to get the story. It happened over and over again in the WNBA as well. Forbes put Clark at number 4 on their list of the most important women in sports, making her the highest-ranked athlete on the whole list. In response, Reese made vague comments on social media about other people who should have been praised. She doesn't care about her own work. All she does is talk about justice and recognition. The lawyers for another brand add a line to a risk assessment sheet every time she does this. Now we get to the response that really made the internet go crazy this week. It is said that Reese's report came out the same week that Clark broke 14 FIBA World Records and won tournament MVP, suggesting that she also deserved an award. I'm not talking about a specific play, stat, or game. I'm talking about the idea that she deserves to be recognized in general. Reebok has stopped talking about her. Her shoes are on sale, and Nike is starting a worldwide marketing effort based on the player. Reese's seems to be crazy about herself. Clark's Kobe shoes are selling for twice as much as they should. Reese's famous sneaker is on sale to get rid of extra stock. Clark broke 14 world records and was named FIBA MVP. After hearing all of this, Reese said that she also deserved an award. It's almost fever season in 2026. The gap is only getting bigger, and it can only go one way. Let's quickly run the scores. Clark holds 14 records around the world. The most well-known female player in 2025 is FIBA MVP. Nike is stepping it up. Sign a record deal with Gatorade. Wilson's name and signature. Agreement with Prada. Cover for Sportico. Reese's cheap sneakers, Reebok's complete silence, and public outrage over her deserve of an award that no one was giving her. We are still in the early stages of the 2026 fever season. Clark will go back to Boston with Mitchell, Hull, and Cunningham. She just proved that she can walk into any place in the world and break records right away. It will be fun to watch the team when that great is in charge. Do you think Angel Reese should be on Team USA? Write your answer in the box below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on all alerts so you never miss anything. Click on the movie on the screen and we'll see you in the next one.